If you've ever seen your ferret's tail suddenly puff up like a bottle brush, you've witnessed one of the most honest and misunderstood signals in the animal kingdom. Picture this. Your ferret is exploring the living room, sniffing around like a tiny, curious detective. Everything seems normal until a loud noise echoes from the hallway. In an instant, your ferret freezes, its back arches, and its tail puffs up to twice its normal size. It looks almost like a feathered duster. For a moment, you're not sure if it's frightened, excited, or about to launch into a war dance. But that fluffy tail is speaking a language as old as ferrets themselves, and it's telling you something urgent. Let's decode it. Ferrets are expressive creatures. They duck when they're happy, hiss when they're annoyed, and sometimes they turn into little fluff balls of pure emotion. But tail puffing is different from the playful arching or gentle wagging you might see during a game. When a ferret puffs its tail, it's almost always driven by one powerful emotion: fear. But why fear? And what's happening inside their bodies when that tail transforms? To understand the puff, you have to step into the mind of a ferret. In the wild, their ancestors were small hunters, but also prey. That means they evolved to be hyper-aware of danger. When something startles them, a sudden sound, a strange scent, the shadow of a large bird outside, their nervous system kicks into high gear. Adrenaline surges, their muscles tense. And one of the most visible reactions is piloerection, the scientific term for hair standing on end. That's what's happening when your ferret's tail puffs up. Every tiny hair follicle is responding to a surge of adrenaline, making the tail appear larger, bushier, and more intimidating. It's an involuntary reflex, like when you get goosebumps. But for ferrets, it serves a deeper purpose. In the wild, a larger-looking animal can scare off a potential predator. By puffing up, a ferret is trying to say, "I'm bigger than I look, back off." It's a bluff, but an effective one. And it's often accompanied by other fear signals: a stiff body, wide eyes, and sometimes a low hiss or a quick retreat to a hiding spot. But here's where it gets interesting. Not all tail puffing is the same. The context tells the real story. If your ferret puffs its tail during play, maybe while chasing a toy or wrestling with another ferret, that's often a sign of overstimulation, not fear. They're so excited that their system gets a little overwhelmed. Their tail puffs up briefly, then relaxes once the energy levels drop. It's like a child getting so excited they can't sit still. But true fear-based puffing is different. It lasts longer. The ferret's whole body language changes. They might freeze in place, staring intently at the perceived threat. Their ears may pin back. They might even try to make themselves look bigger by arching their back, a classic Halloween cat pose. In those moments, your ferret isn't playing. It's genuinely alarmed, so what should you do when you see that fluffy tail signal? First, don't panic. Your anxiety can make theirs worse. Speak softly. Move slowly. Avoid reaching for them suddenly. That could be seen as another threat. Instead, get down to their level. Let them come to you if they feel safe. Sometimes, just sitting quietly nearby can help them calm down. Second, identify the trigger. Was it a vacuum cleaner? A stranger's voice? A dog barking outside? Once you know what scared them, you can help desensitize them over time. For example, if your ferret is afraid of the vacuum, try running it in another room at low volume while giving them treats. Gradually, they'll learn it's not a threat. And third, provide safe spaces. Ferrets need hideaways where they can retreat when they feel vulnerable. A cozy hut, a tunnel, or even a blanket fort under the couch can become their safe zone. When they know they have an escape route, they feel more confident exploring. But what if your ferret's tail is puffed all the time, even when there's no obvious danger? That could be a sign of chronic stress. Maybe their environment is too noisy. Maybe they're not getting enough sleep. Ferrets need up to 18 hours of rest a day, or perhaps they're feeling unwell. Pain or illness can make animals more reactive and fearful. If the puffing persists, a vet visit is a good idea. Over time. You'll learn to read your ferret's tail like a mood ring. A softly curved tail means they're relaxed. A gently wagging tail means they're curious or playful. But a puffed tail, that's their inner alarm system going off. It's raw, instinctive, and deeply honest, and that's the beautiful thing about ferrets. They don't hide how they feel. Their bodies tell the story. When you understand that story, you're not just a pet owner, you're a translator. You're reading a language written in fluff and motion. And that connection, that silent understanding, is what turns a house into a home for these clever, emotional little beings. Has your ferret ever puffed its tail at something unexpected? Share your story in the comments. I read every one. And if you want to understand even more hidden pet behaviors, subscribe to Pet Mind Reader. Let's keep decoding the secret lives of animals together.